The coin you mentioned, United States of America $1 1776 to 1976 D, Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, e pluribus unum, refers to the Eisenhower bicentennial dollar, a special United States coin issued to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the independence of the United States. This bicentennial celebration commemorated the signing of the United States Declaration of Independence, the historic document that formally announced the 13 American colonies' separation from Great Britain. The coin carries the dual date 1776 to 1976, symbolizing the 200-year span between the birth of the nation and its bicentennial celebration in 1976. It was produced by the United States Mint, the federal agency responsible for producing coinage for the country. The letter D on the coin indicates that it was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the major minting facilities in the United States. Millions of bicentennial dollar coins were produced during the mid-1970s as part of a national celebration that included commemorative coins, stamps, historical events, and public festivities across the country. Although these coins are common today, they hold historical significance because they symbolize the ideals of freedom, unity, and democracy that the United States associates with its founding era. On the front obverse side of the Eisenhower bicentennial dollar appears the portrait of Dwight D. Eisenhower, who served as president from 1953 to 1961 and was also a famous military commander during World War II, leading Allied forces in Europe. The coin series was originally introduced in 1971 to honor Eisenhower's leadership and his role in American history, particularly his connection to the success of the Allied forces and the beginning of the American space era. Around the portrait appears the word liberty, which is one of the core political ideals of the United States and reflects the principle of personal and political freedom. Also on the obverse is the national motto, "In God We Trust," which became the official motto of the United States in 1956 and appears on all modern American currency. Beneath Eisenhower's portrait is the special bicentennial date 1776 to 1976. Distinguishing these coins from regular Eisenhower dollars that normally display a single year. The dual date visually links the birth of the nation in 1776 with a bicentennial celebration 2 centuries later. The reverse back of the bicentennial dollar coin features a unique design that differs from the normal Eisenhower dollar reverse. Instead of the eagle landing on the moon design used on earlier Eisenhower dollars, the bicentennial version shows the Liberty Bell superimposed over the moon. This design was created by artist Dennis R. Williams, whose artwork was selected in a nationwide design competition organized by the United States Mint. The Liberty Bell is one of the most famous symbols of American independence and is closely associated with the events surrounding the Declaration of Independence in 1776. The actual bell is preserved at Liberty Bell Center, where it remains a powerful historical symbol visited by millions of tourists each year. By placing the Liberty Bell in front of the moon, the coin design symbolically connects America's revolutionary past with its technological achievements in the modern era, particularly the space program that culminated in the Apollo 11 moon landing. Surrounding the design are the inscriptions United States of America and $1, indicating the issuing nation and the denomination of the coin. The phrase e pluribus unum, a Latin motto meaning out of many one, appears above the design. This phrase has been used on American coins and official seals since the 18th century and symbolizes the union of many states and peoples into a single nation. The Eisenhower bicentennial dollar was produced from 1975 through 1976 as part of the National Bicentennial Coin Program. Interestingly, coins dated 1776 to 1976 were minted during both years, so there are no Eisenhower dollars dated 1975. The coins were produced in several mints, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, though the Denver Mint coins carry the D Mint mark that you mentioned. Most circulating bicentennial dollars were made from a copper-nickel-clad composition, meaning they have a copper core covered with outer layers made from a copper-nickel alloy. However, the U.S. Mint also produced special 40% silver collector versions, which were sold in special mint sets and proof sets. These silver coins are usually more valuable to collectors because they contain precious metal and were produced in smaller quantities. In terms of collectible value, most circulated bicentennial Eisenhower dollars are not extremely rare because millions were produced. In average circulated condition, they may be worth only slightly more than their face value of $1. However, coins in uncirculated condition, coins from special proof sets, or those next up. Then coin described as United States of America $1 1971 Liberty. In God we trust, e pluribus unum, refers to the Eisenhower dollar, an important piece of modern American coinage that was issued by the United States Mint beginning in 1971. This coin was created to honor Dwight D. Eisenhower, who served as president from 1953 to 1961 and was also the supreme commander of Allied forces in Europe during World War II. The Eisenhower dollar was the first regular-issue United States dollar coin struck after the silver peace dollar was discontinued in 1935. By the late 1960s, there was strong public interest in creating a new dollar coin to commemorate Eisenhower's leadership and also to celebrate the achievements of the American space program, especially the Apollo 11 moon landing. As a result, the U.S. government authorized the production of the Eisenhower dollar in 1971, making it both a tribute to a respected American leader and a symbol of national pride during the space age. On the obverse front side of the Eisenhower dollar is a large portrait of Dwight D. Eisenhower facing left. The portrait was designed by Frank Gasparo, who served as the chief engraver of the United States Mint from 1965 to 1981. Gasparo designed several important American coins and medals, and his portrait of Eisenhower was intended to capture the president's calm leadership and dignified presence. Above the portrait appears the word liberty, one of the most fundamental ideals of the United States, and a word that has appeared on American coins since the earliest days of the nation. The term represents the principle of personal freedom and democratic governance that was emphasized during the founding of the United States following the American Revolution. On the front of the coin, you will also see the phrase, "In God we trust," which is the official national motto of the United States. This phrase began appearing on American coins during the 19th century and became the official national motto in 1956 during the Cold War period, reflecting a tradition of acknowledging religious faith in public life. Beneath the portrait is the date 1971, indicating the year the coin was minted. Some Eisenhower dollars also have mint marks, such as D for the Denver Mint or S for the San Francisco Mint, while coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint originally had no mint mark. The reverse back of a 1971 Eisenhower dollar features a striking design of a bald eagle landing on the surface of the moon while holding an olive branch in its talons. This dramatic image is directly inspired by the mission patch used during the Apollo 11 space mission, the historic mission that successfully landed the first humans on the moon in July 1969. The eagle symbolizes the United States, while the olive branch represents peace, suggesting that the nation's technological achievements are intended to serve peaceful purposes. In the background of the design is the Earth rising above the lunar horizon, a powerful image reminding viewers that the moon landing represented not only a scientific achievement, but also a moment that united humanity in admiration of exploration and discovery. Surrounding the central design are the words United States of America and $1, indicating the issuing nation and the coin's value. Above the eagle appears the Latin phrase e pluribus unum, which translates to out of many one. This motto has been used on American coins and official seals since the 18th century and reflects the idea that many states, cultures, and people form one united nation. The Eisenhower dollar was produced from 1971 through 1978 and was the last large-sized dollar coin issued for regular circulation in the United States. The coin measures approximately 38.1 millimeters in diameter and weighs about 22.68 grams when made from the standard copper-nickel clad composition. Most Eisenhower dollars were made using this copper-nickel alloy, which consists of a copper core with outer layers made from a mixture of copper and nickel. However, the United States Mint also produced special collector versions containing 40% silver. These silver coins were usually sold in special collector sets rather than released for everyday circulation. Because they contain precious metal and were produced in smaller numbers, These silver versions are generally more valuable to coin collectors. The standard copper-nickel coins, on the other hand, were produced in large quantities for circulation and therefore are relatively common today. Although the Eisenhower dollar was intended for everyday use, it never became very popular in daily commerce. One reason was its large size and heavy weight, which made it inconvenient for people to carry in their pockets or wallets. As a result, many of the coins were stored in banks or collected by individuals rather than used frequently in transactions. By the late 1970s, the U.S. government decided to replace the large next top. The coin described as United States of America $1 1972D, Liberty, in God we trust, e pluribus unum, refers to the Eisenhower dollar, a large American dollar coin issued by the United States Mint during the early 1970s. This coin was part of the Eisenhower dollar series, which was produced from 1971 through 1978. The series was created primarily to honor Dwight D. Eisenhower, who served as president from 1953 to 1961 and played a crucial role in world history as the supreme commander of Allied forces during World War II. Eisenhower was widely respected for his leadership, military strategy, and efforts to maintain peace during the early years of the Cold War. Following his death in 1969, there was strong public and political support in the United States to honor him with a new dollar coin. At the same time, the country had recently celebrated a major technological achievement, the Apollo 11 moon landing, which placed the first humans on the moon. Because of these two historical factors, Eisenhower's legacy and the excitement surrounding the space program, the United States government authorized the creation of the Eisenhower dollar, making it both a tribute to a national leader and a symbol of the American space age. The D Mint mark on the 1972 coin indicates that it was produced at the Denver Mint, one of the main facilities responsible for manufacturing circulating coins in the United States. The Denver Mint has been operating since 1906 and has produced billions of coins for everyday use. Coins minted there carry the small letter D to identify their origin. The 1972 Eisenhower dollar was struck in large numbers at Denver, meaning most examples are relatively common today, although their condition and specific varieties can influence their collector value. On the obverse front side of the coin appears a bold portrait of Dwight D. Eisenhower facing left. This portrait was designed by Frank Gasparo, who served as the chief engraver of the United States Mint from 1965 to 1981. Gasparo designed several well-known American coins, and his Eisenhower portrait was intended to reflect the president's calm and determined leadership style. Above the portrait appears the word liberty, one of the most significant words in American political culture. The concept of liberty has been central to the identity of the United States since the time of the American Revolution, when the American colonies fought to gain independence from Great Britain. The word has appeared on American coins since the 18th century as a symbol of freedom and democratic ideals. On the obverse, you will also see the phrase, "In God We Trust," which is the official national motto of the United States. This motto first appeared on certain coins during the 19th century and was later declared the official national motto in 1956. Its inclusion on American currency reflects a historical tradition of acknowledging religious faith and moral guidance in national life. Beneath the portrait is the date 1972, indicating the year the coin was minted. The reverse back of a 1972 Eisenhower dollar contains one of the most interesting designs ever used on an American coin. The design shows a bald eagle descending toward the surface of the moon while carrying an olive branch in its talons. This powerful image symbolizes both strength and peace. The eagle is the national bird and symbol of the United States, representing freedom and power, while the olive branch traditionally symbolizes peace and goodwill. The design was inspired by the official mission insignia used by the astronauts of the Apollo 11 mission, the historic mission that successfully landed humans on the moon for the first time in July 1969. In the background of the design appears the planet Earth rising above the lunar horizon, reminding viewers that the moon landing was not only an American achievement, but also a milestone for humanity as a whole. Around the outer edge of the reverse are the inscriptions, United States of America, and $1, identifying the country that issued the coin and its monetary value. Above the eagle appears the Latin phrase, e pluribus unum. This phrase translates to out of many, one, and it has been used as a national motto of the United States since the 18th century. The motto represents the idea that many states, cultures, and people come together to form one unified nation. The Eisenhower dollar is notable for its large size, measuring about 38.1 millimeters in diameter and weighing approximately 22.68 grams when struck in the standard copper-nickel clad composition. This composition consists of a pure copper core sandwiched between outer layers made from a copper-nickel alloy. Most Eisenhower dollars minted for circulation were made using this metal combination, which was introduced in the 1960s after rising silver prices forced the United States to remove most silver from its circulating coinage. However, the U.S. Mint also next top. The coin described as United States of America $1 1977D, Liberty, in God we trust, e pluribus unum, refers to the Eisenhower dollar, a large dollar coin produced by the United States Mint during the 1970s. The Eisenhower dollar series was issued from 1971 to 1978 and was created to honor Dwight D. Eisenhower, one of the most influential American leaders of the 20th century. Eisenhower served as president from 1953 to 1961, and before that gained worldwide recognition as the supreme commander of Allied forces in Europe during World War II. Because of his important military leadership and later political leadership, many Americans wanted to commemorate him on a coin after his death in 1969. At the same time, the United States was proud of its achievements in space exploration, especially the Apollo 11 moon landing, when astronauts first walked on the moon. The Eisenhower dollar, therefore, became a symbol linking the legacy of Eisenhower with the achievements of the American space program. The 1977 D version of the coin indicates that it was minted in 1977 at the Denver Mint, one of the main coin-producing facilities in the United States. The small letter D on the coin identifies Denver as the mint where the coin was struck. On the obverse front of the coin appears a large portrait of Dwight D. Eisenhower facing left. This portrait was designed by Frank Gasparo, who created several famous American coin designs during his career. Gasparo intended the portrait to capture Eisenhower's strong yet calm leadership style. Around the portrait are several inscriptions that carry symbolic meaning in American culture. The word liberty appears prominently above Eisenhower's head, representing the fundamental principle of personal freedom that has been central to the identity of the United States since the time of the American Revolution, when the American colonies fought for independence from Great Britain. The phrase, "In God we trust," also appears on the front of the coin. This phrase has been used on American coins since the 19th century and became the official national motto of the United States in 1956. Its inclusion reflects a long tradition in American public life of acknowledging religious faith and moral values. Beneath Eisenhower's portrait is the date 1977, which indicates the year in which the coin was minted. The reverse back of the Eisenhower dollar contains one of the most dramatic designs used on American currency. It shows a bald eagle descending toward the surface of the moon while holding an olive branch in its talons. The bald eagle is the national bird and symbol of the United States, representing strength, freedom, and national pride. The olive branch symbolizes peace, suggesting that the nation's power should be used responsibly and peacefully. This design was inspired by the official insignia used during the Apollo 11 mission, the historic space mission that successfully landed astronauts on the moon in 1969. In the background of the design appears the Earth rising above the lunar horizon, reminding viewers of humanity's connection to the planet and the significance of space exploration. Around the outer edge of the reverse are the words United States of America and $1, identifying the issuing nation and the denomination of the coin. Above the eagle appears the Latin phrase e pluribus unum, which translates to out of many one. This motto has been used on American coins and official seals since the 18th century and represents the idea that the United States is formed from many states, cultures, and people united into one nation. The Eisenhower dollar is notable for being the last large-sized dollar coin issued for general circulation in the United States. The coin measures approximately 38.1 millimeters in diameter and weighs about 22.68 grams when produced in the standard copper-nickel clad composition. This composition consists of a pure copper core surrounded by layers of copper-nickel alloy. Most Eisenhower dollars released for circulation were made from this metal combination. However, the U.S. Mint also produced special collector versions containing 40% silver, which were usually minted in San Francisco and sold in special collector sets rather than released into everyday circulation. These silver coins tend to be more valuable because of their precious metal content and lower production numbers. Although the Eisenhower dollar had an impressive design and historical meaning, it was not widely used in daily transactions. One major reason was its large size and heavy weight, which made it inconvenient for people to carry in their pockets. Many businesses and vending machines also found the large coin difficult to handle. As a result, although millions were produced each year, many Eisenhower dollars were saved by collectors or remained stored in banks rather than circulating regularly in the economy. Because of these problems, the United States next top. The coin described as United States of America $1 1776 to 1976, Liberty, in God we trust, e pluribus unum, refers to the famous Eisenhower bicentennial dollar, a special commemorative coin issued by the United States Mint to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the independence of the United States. The dual date 1776 to 1976 marks the bicentennial of the United States Declaration of Independence, the historic document through which the 13 American colonies formally declared their independence from Great Britain on July 4, 1776. The bicentennial celebration in 1976 was a major national event in the United States that included parades, festivals, historical exhibitions, postage stamps, and special commemorative coins. The Eisenhower bicentennial dollar became one of the most recognizable symbols of this celebration because it circulated widely and carried a design that combined images of the nation's revolutionary history with its modern achievements. The obverse front of the coin features the portrait of Dwight D. Eisenhower, who served as president from 1953 to 1961 and was also a highly respected military commander during World War II. Eisenhower was the supreme commander of Allied forces in Europe and played a central role in the successful invasion of Nazi-occupied Europe during the war. Because of his leadership and popularity, the United States decided to honor him by placing his portrait on the new dollar coin series beginning in 1971. The portrait on the coin was designed by Frank Gasparo, who served as the chief engraver of the United States Mint for many years and designed several other American coins as well. Above Eisenhower's portrait appears the word liberty, a powerful symbol of freedom and democratic ideals that has been used on American coins since the early years of the nation. The concept of liberty is closely connected to the events of the American Revolution, during which the American colonies fought to gain independence from British rule. Also on the obverse is the phrase "In God We Trust," which serves as the official national motto of the United States. This phrase began appearing on coins in the 19th century and was officially adopted as the national motto in 1956. Beneath the portrait appears the bicentennial date 1776 to 1976, linking the founding year of the nation with the year of its 200th anniversary celebration. The reverse back of the Eisenhower bicentennial dollar contains a unique and symbolic design that differs from the standard Eisenhower dollar coins issued in other years. The reverse was designed by Dennis R. Williams, whose design was selected through a national competition organized by the United States Mint. The image shows the Liberty Bell superimposed over the moon. The Liberty Bell is one of the most famous symbols of American independence and is associated with the events surrounding the Declaration of Independence in 1776. The real Liberty Bell is located at the Liberty Bell Center, where it is preserved as an important historical artifact and visited by millions of tourists every year. By placing the Liberty Bell in front of the moon, the coin's design symbolically connects America's revolutionary past with its modern achievements in science and technology, especially the era of space exploration that followed the Apollo 11 moon landing. Surrounding this design are the inscriptions United States of America and $1, identifying the issuing country and the value of the coin. Above the design appears the Latin phrase e pluribus unum, which translates to out of many one. This phrase has been used on American coins and official seals since the 18th century and symbolizes the unity of many states and peoples forming one nation. The Eisenhower bicentennial dollar was produced between 1975 and 1976, although all of the coins carry the dual date 1776 to 1976 rather than a single year. This means that no Eisenhower dollar coins exist with the date 1975. The coins were minted at several facilities of the United States Mint, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins minted in Philadelphia originally had no mint mark, while those produced in Denver carry the letter D, and coins from San Francisco typically carry the letter S. Most bicentennial dollars intended for circulation were made from a copper-nickel clad composition, consisting of a copper core covered with layers of copper and nickel alloy. However, the United States Mint also produced special collector versions containing 40% silver, which were sold in special proof sets and uncirculated collector sets. Because these silver coins contain precious metal and were produced in smaller numbers, they are generally more valuable to collectors than the standard copper-nickel coins. The Eisenhower dollar series itself is historically significant because it was the last large-sized dollar coin issued for general circulation in the United States. The coin measures about 38.1 m,